Hello and welcome to Understanding Audio. In this series, we will take a look at the different aspects of audio engineering, recording audio, and how to treat audio with various tools. Today, however, we will take a look at the very first important step in the recording process, and that is setting your levels. So when you're recording, you have two kinds of levels that you want to be concerned with, right? You have your input levels and you have your output levels, okay? So the input is how sensitive is your instrument, right? How sensitive is your instrument that's recording in? How strong is the signal coming in from your instrument? Okay, so words like strong signal or a hot signal are often used. Okay, and this is determined by your gain settings, what we call the gain, which is if you have an audio interface or a mixer, you will have a knob that says gain, right? So this is the gain for channel 1. And this over here is the gain for this input. Now, ideally, you want to set the gain so that if you see the meter coming into your recording software, while you're set at 0 dB, so if you look at over here, this is set at 0 dB, okay? If I move this up and down, it changes. But I want to set it at 0 dB, and I want my input levels to be somewhere between minus 12 and minus 9. If it's going above minus 9, it's fine, but ideally, we want it to be around this level. Okay, our goal is to try to get a signal that is as loud as possible without increasing the background noise or the noise floor as well. We don't want to increase that. Since I'm not sitting in a studio setup right now, you can hear some background noise, slight hiss in my signal, right? That's because I turned up the gain to the point that my voice is clear, but since I'm not in a soundproof environment, you can hear some of the sounds around me. Okay, now what I will do is I will increase the gain past this point. Okay, so you can see how sensitive the gain increases can be. Okay, so it must be getting really loud right now, and you can see the waveform as well almost looks distorted. So I'll take it back down. Okay, I want it to be preferably at my peak moments. I want it to be definitely not hitting the yellows, right? I don't want to hit the yellows because I want to give myself enough headroom. Okay, so I want to give myself headroom so that I can add more effects later on. Okay, and because those effects might boost the volume even further. So I need to have space in the signal strength. So if I add an effect on top of it, I have some buffer zone, which will prevent it from clipping. Okay, now if you notice over here, we have the numbers in minus, right? So it's all going all the way down to minus 60. So in audio, we'd look at things in the negative, and 0 is called your clipping point, right? Clipping point, basically, what does this mean? So if you have a sound wave, okay, and this sound wave goes above 0, let's say this line is 0, okay, it will just cut off everything on top, basically clip it off, because it wants to keep it under it, right? Okay, so what it won't do is it won't make a smooth curve like this. It will just instantly just snap it off over here, and that creates distortion in your audio, and you don't want that. Okay, so we need to avoid the clipping point no matter what. This is where a limiter also comes in, but we'll look at the limiter later on in a different video. So to summarize, our gain, when we set the gain, we call this step the gain staging. Okay, we want to set our gain to the point that whoever is going to use the instrument or the microphone or whatever is plugged into this port is comfortable with their sensitivity, while at the same time you know, as a recorder, you know that it is not going to cause you issues further down the road. It's not too hot that you can't do anything to the signal anymore, right? So this is a compromise balance that you need to find through experience. Okay. All right, so gain staging helps us with our input signal. Okay, and the knob over here, the level knob, okay, which is not over here because this is just an audio interface. For an audio interface, the level knob is inside the recording software. Okay, so this knob controls your output volume. Okay, so if you ever want to make changes to the volume of the performer during the performance, you want to play with this, right? You don't want to touch the gain, right? Just like you observed when I played with my gain, it can be very sensitive, and different mics will behave differently. Different mixers will behave differently, right? So preferably you don't want to mess with the gain. Once it's set, it's set. If you want to change the volume of the performer, then you have to deal with this, because this is going towards the output, towards the speakers. Okay, and to prove that this is only affecting the speakers, it's not affecting the recording signal, I'm right now going to just pull it down all the way. And it's technically minus infinity right now, right? So if I keep it like this and I export it like this, then I'm going to get no audio out, right? But I'm still getting audio in. It's still recording. Okay, so now I brought it back to 0 dB, and over here I can boost it a little bit as well if I want. But notice that it's not boosting the input signal, although it will get really loud for you if I keep it like this again in the export. You will not notice these changes because I'm not exporting it like this. I will be exporting the audio at 0 dB, so you're not noticing these changes. For show, I will export it after automating it so that you can see the difference. But no matter what I do to this right now, if I export it while it's at 0 dB, it's always going to sound consistent, okay, because this only controls the output. Okay, so to summarize, gain is our input signal, and our levels or faders, etc., they control our volume, which is our output. Right? Okay. And all mixers have a channel output and a master output. Okay. This is our channel output. It's deciding how much volume this channel is giving out. And this here is our master output. Okay, it's deciding how much is actually going out. If I'm playing back, it will not give me any volume at all. Right now I cannot play back because I'm recording, but I hope you get the idea. Okay, so this is something really important that you have to understand when you begin recording, right? Your input stage, which is the gain, okay, and your output stage, which is the fader or the volume, right? Thank you. I hope that I managed to clear up any misunderstandings that anybody might have had regarding these two things. Okay, in the next video, we will take a look at one very, very used effect in the audio chain, the compressor.